What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can find the perfect swing trade. So for those of you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Stas, and I make videos dealing with swing trading, day trading, long-term investing, and my personal philosophies and strategies when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. So for those of you guys that want to learn more about that, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, as well as join our Discord group chat, as well as our Facebook group. All of those are linked down below in the description box. And if you guys want to talk to me on a day-to-day basis, pretty much talk to me throughout the whole market open, the Discord group chat is a must for you because we're very active in there, and you can shoot me a direct message and I talk to every single person in that group. We have about 180 members in that group talking about stocks, trading, investing, strategies, stock news, throughout the whole entire day. So make sure you guys get in there. Again, the link is down below in the description box. So, how do you find the perfect swing trade? There's a lot of ways to do this, and there's a lot of different steps that I personally take to do this particular method, right, which is swing trading. And swing trading, guys, for those of you guys that don't know, you should all know by now if you've been watching my channel for a while, but those new viewers out there, what a swing trade is, what swing trading is pretty much buying a stock or an ETF and holding it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or maybe even a couple of months. And the whole idea here, guys, is pretty much to buy a stock when it's low in price, when it's sold off, when there's some margin of profit, and then pretty much holding that stock until it recovers, bounces back up, and that's how you profit on a swing trade, right? Pretty simple in terms of what a swing trade is, but how I personally find my swing trades and how I find the perfect swing trade is a little bit different, right? And we're going to talk about that in this particular video. So, one way that I find swing trades, guys, is by using my scanner right here. And I have a video going into more detail on my swing trading scanner, but pretty much, just to sum this up in a quick 30-second, 60-second spiel, I find my stocks by using this scanner. And you can set a minimum price here. I believe I set this one for penny stocks, but if you want to find stocks that are, between, $10 and $30, like I talked about in that swing trading scanner video, you could set up the stock scanner between $10 and $30. You could set the volume to whatever you want. If you want $1 million minimum or $1 million volume minimum, you can do that. You can do 100,000. You can pretty much do whatever you want, right? And you set that to the minimum, right? And for this example, let's just do 1 million. Let's see, is that 1 million? No, that's 10 million. So that's 1 million with a maximum of 200 million. And then you can do the beta, which is at -1 or -4. And pretty much what beta is, guys, is it judges, how volatile a stock is. So, we want the beta to be from -1 to 4. So we grab in some volatile stocks in this scanner. And then you can pretty much do, all you do is click scan, and then a bunch of stocks start to pop up. And then what you do from here is, you take one of these tickers, right, whatever it is. Let's say BAC, for example. I'm pretty sure that's Bank of America. And then you go over here to charts. You type in BAC, and then you start doing your technical analysis. So this could potentially be a good swing trade because, the first step that we look for, which is margin of profit, right, that is there in terms of BAC. We notice that it's at a dip right now at about $28, and the top is at about $31. And pretty much how you find margin of profit, guys, which is the first step of determining, to finding a, perfect swing trade, is you identify support points, right? And then you identify a resistance points. So pretty much for BAC right now, guys, is, the margin of profit is from about $28 up to about $31, which does offer about 11%. So, in terms of margin of profit, BAC is very good. And, the second step that we want to take in terms of, finding a perfect swing trade is identifying the bounce/reversal at the particular support point. So now that we drew out this trend line here to identify the support point of BAC, which is at about $28, what we want to do is identify whether or not this one is reversing in price or whether or not it hasn't done so quite yet. So this one, guys, it has not yet reversed in price, but the consolidation on the support point at $28 is a very key sign here, and it's showing that, you know, the support point is valid and BAC is holding that support point, because we see here it's been there for the past couple of days. And, you know, that's a very good sign that BAC is slowly halting at the support point and eventually looking to push back up. But now what we want to wait for, guys, is for BAC to push up in price and break above the EMA line and then the 50-day SMA line. And that's the step 2. So first we want to identify the margin of profit, then we want to identify supports and resistance points, and then the second step, guys, is we want to identify, you know, when BAC confirms the reversal, or whatever stock you're watching confirms the reversal, and that's pretty much by the candlesticks breaking above the EMA line, breaking above the SMA indicators, right? And pretty much confirming the bounce from that support point, because we don't really want to get into a stock as a swing trade before it has, you know, confirmed that bounce at the support level, because, you know, stocks like this, guys, they're technically still downtrending because they haven't shown a sign of a push-up. And, you know, we want to get in at the best possible time. And in my personal opinion, guys, and to find the perfect swing trade, you know, it's best to get in when a stock is already pushing up, so you don't have to worry about it getting rejected and pushing back down in price. But there is always a chance that even if it's confirmed and it started to push up, there's obviously always a chance that it can shoot back down. But, you know, for us to maximize our results in swing trading, you know, it's best to just get in here when it's pushing up in price and, you know, have a tight stop loss set on it. So, you know, if it does reverse, if it does actually not go against your plan, which does happen sometimes, guys, because the stock market is not a predictable, you know, it's not a predictable market. It's always volatile. It's always pushing up. It's always pushing down. So if sometimes that does happen, which it does happen sometimes, guys, that you know, stocks don't go according to your plan, all you got to do is cut losses and just move on to the next one. So, you know, pretty much, guys, first step, identify support, identify resistance, identify margin of profit, and then get in as the bounce/reversal starts to occur. So, you know, that's pretty much a quick little synopsis on, you know, how you can find a pretty good swing trade. So another good way to do it, guys, especially now since we are in earnings seasons, and now that, you know, a lot of the stocks, the big name stocks that we trade on this channel, and, you know, a bunch of the most popular stocks out there in the stock market you know, they are at major sell-offs, is wait to see what companies end up reporting in terms of their earnings, right? You know, if a company reports very good earnings, especially at the state of the market that we are in right now, because there's a lot of questions out there in the market, you know, whether or not companies are going to report strong earnings, which is then going to lead to us believing that there is going to be a strong 2019, especially if the guidance for these companies is strong, right, are strong, which is something very, very important. You know, this is something that can open up opportunity for swing trades. For example, guys, in one swing trade that I personally took on Friday, I started building up a position, is PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. So they reported very strong earnings, and we see the stock is up about 9%, right? So I decided to take an initial little position in PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. So, you know, the way I traded this one, guys, and the way I plan on trading this one is, you know, due to the strong earnings that they reported. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that wait until after a company reports their earnings, see where the guidance for that company is and whether or not it's positive or negative. So PayPal reported very strong earnings, so I personally waited until after PayPal reported their earnings. Again, very strong earnings, and that obviously sent the stock straight up. And this is a great way to trade stocks, swing trade stocks, especially if the guidance and the outlook of that particular company is strong over the next quarter, over the next year, which PayPal's is, right? So I hopped into PayPal, and, you know, this fits our criteria from what we were talking about before with Bank of America, right? You know, It bounced at the support point at about $73, right? It broke above the EMA, it broke above the 50 SMA, and now it's reversing in price. It's starting to push up, it's starting to form that uptrending pattern. And on top of that, very solid earnings report with strong guidance. This is something that could be identified as a perfect swing trade, right? So let's just go over all of these steps again. And during earnings season, this is a very good opportunity, in my opinion, to hop into specific stocks as swing trades, especially now, like I said, due to the market being at a 6 to 10% discount from where we were a couple of weeks back. So I do believe now is a good time to hop into some swing trades. But just to really quickly recap, right, we first want to identify a support and a resistance point and a margin for profit. So here, the support's at 73. First resistance is at about $81. We broke above that, so that's actually now a new support level at about $81. And then the next resistance point is at about it's at about $84, which we're actually hovering at right now, and the next one after that is at about $92. So the first thing we want to do, guys, support, resistance, margin for profit. Then we want to make sure the stock bounced at the support level. It's reversing from that support level, breaking above the EMA, and then breaking above the 50 SMA. And at this point, guys, the stock is reversing, or the ETF is reversing from that support point, which means that it's slowly starting to trend up. And then we also want to understand where the company's guidance is for the next quarter, for the next year. And this is something very huge, guys, because this is what the company is going to be looking like over the next year. We want to know how much money the company is bringing in. We want to understand the guidance of the company from the CEO, from the management, how the company's ran, the different sections of the business. We want to know all these different things before hopping into a perfect swing trade. And if all these different things are looking great, right, like PayPal is at this particular point, right, that's a good swing trade to get into. So pretty much, guys, it's very, very evident that you must do your research and must do your technical analysis before hopping into stocks. And, not even your technical analysis, guys. You have to understand where that business is, where the guidance is, and hopping in after earnings is something very, very, crucial here, guys, because if you're playing, you can gamble, right? If you want to hop into a stock before they report earnings, you can do that, right? But it's always risky because if that company reports bad earnings, that stock could end up shooting down. But if it reports great earnings, like PayPal did, for example, let's say I got in before the earnings report, I would be up 10% of my position. But at that point, guys, it's kind of a gamble, right? It's kind of a gamble. I'd rather make a sound decision after seeing the guidance, after seeing the earnings, after seeing where the company is pushing for the next quarter, for the next year, before entering into that position. So, PayPal, guys, is looking very good in that aspect. And then we can see, we can use other indicators in terms of, identifying a good swing trade after all of these different things that I talked about before are set in stone, like the support, resistance, the confirmation of the reversal, the earnings report, right? The guidance of the company, how the company's looking. Is it strong? Is it ran well? What is it? What's the outlook for the next quarter, for the next year? All those different things, right? After all those different things are set in stone, we want to look at, the RSI levels, the MACD, how much volume is pushing into the stock, because these are things that will give us additional, incentive of, investing or trading in a stock. So for those of you guys that don't know, the RSI level is the relative strength index. Pretty much if a stock is between the 30, pretty much we see here these lines between the 30 and the 70 level. So pretty much whenever a stock is reaching, or whenever these lines are reaching the 70 level, that means the stock is overbought. A lot of people are buying into the stock, and that might not be the best opportunity to hop into a stock, right? But if it's all the way down here at the 30 threshold, that means it's a little bit oversold. It may be a better opportunity to hop into that stock. But for me, guys, these are secondary, tools to the actual fundamentals, guidance, outlook of the business, and the technicals that we see here. Because me, I put money into PayPal, although the RSI level is showing that it's a little bit oversold, and that doesn't bother me, right? It doesn't really bother me because I put an initial stake into the company, and I always scale into my positions, meaning that I always put in a small percentage of my total position in at first, and then I add more money, as the position or as the stock keeps pushing up, or if it sells off a little bit and I want to make that decision, that fundamental decision of adding more money, I can do that too, right? So I wouldn't mind if PayPal dropped a little bit more, maybe to $81, $82. Because I would just add more money to it, right? Not a big deal there whatsoever. Then we could also use the MACD here, the MACD indicator. We pretty much use these red and green bars here to show us sell signals and buy signals. So when these are turning red, that means it's a sell signal, right? You don't base your decisions solely off this, but these just supplement your decisions in terms of trading and investing, right? And then we see here, once these start to, scale up, these green bars start to scale up, and we see the volume start to push up as well, that could be a good buy signal, right? So we see that, once the green bar started to stack up, started to push up, we noticed the stock started to uptrend in price. So, use these indicators as supplements to your technical analysis and to your, fundamental analysis and the guidance of a business. So pretty much, guys, that is today's video. How do you find the perfect swing trade? Supports, resistance, margins of profit, identifying uptrending patterns, identifying more supports, new resistances, new support levels, and then also identifying the guidance of a company. Did they report their earnings? Are the earnings report strong? Where's the company pushing in the next couple of months, next couple of years? That is something very, very important in terms of trading a stock. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and join our Discord group chat as well as our Facebook group. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Peace out.